And about that, good people. I know we probably is live by now.
Patricia, you are now live.
Thank you very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And it is 6:30, so we're gonna go ahead on and get started. There's a couple of people that's waiting to come into the waiting room. I'm gonna let them in. And then we'll get started. Dr. Nichols, can I get you to share? I'm gonna make you a co-host, if that's all right. Make you co-host.
Absolutely.
Okay, make you co-host. So we'll go ahead and get started, everyone. We'll call the meeting to order. It is 6:31, and we'll call the meeting to order. And the meeting will be opened up with a prayer by Pastor Joey. I'm going to ask you all to please mute your lines. If everyone at this time, except Pastor Joey, will go in and mute your line, please. Everyone except Pastor Joey, but please go in and mute your computer, your phone, your desktop, whatever that you're working with. Pastor Joey will lead us in a prayer and the Pledge of Allegiance. Pastor
Awesome.
Joey. Thank
Yes,
you.
ma'am. Well, let's pray. Well, Lord, we thank you for being so great and so mighty and so awesome. And we thank you for this time that we can come together, even on Zoom, to be able to speak on things of our community, God, the great things that are happening, God, and to get informed about the great things that's going on and that's going to go on, God. And we just thank you for allowing us all to come together, God, and to get informed, God, even for our guest speaker and whoever else will be speaking tonight, Lord. We thank you, God. God, we pray, God, that each person, God, that watches this now and watches later, that you would touch them, bless them, and keep them in Jesus' name. Amen.
Thank you, Pastor Joey. And you'll lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, please. Pastor Joey.
To the flag. Yes. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Again, I want to welcome everyone that's here today. Welcome all the board members that's on this line. Welcome our first-time visitors, and welcome those that even watching us on Facebook, and welcome those that took the opportunity to be with us here virtually. So welcome and thank you for being here, and thank our partners. The Pine Hills Community Council would not be who they are without all of you all here today, our board members, our members, our partners, our sponsors, and those that's watching us on Facebook Live and those that are on Zoom. We would not be where we are today if you were not here. So thank you very much for joining us on this monthly meeting. I'm Patricia Rump. I'm your president of the Pine Hills Community Council. And again, we're looking forward to having an exciting meeting, looking forward to interacting with each and one of y'all today. And just a little bit about the council for those that's here for the first time on the call, first time joining us. The Pine Hills Community Council is a 501c4 nonprofit, nonpartisan civic organization. And we focus our attention on enhancing the overall community pride, living standards, and growth for those persons living and working in this community. We also have earned respect from our local, state, and federal officials for our reputation of doing what we do on the behalf of the community in Pine Hills, the resident in Pine Hills. So thank you for being here. And the purpose of this meeting is to interact with you. We have a guest speaker tonight. You also want to hear from a couple of, we also will hear from a couple of our partners. You will also hear from of some of our committees here tonight. The Pine Hill is an organization that is formed of committees. We welcome everybody on board to find a committee, find your fit. So this meeting tonight will focus on our committee, our partners, speaker tonight, and our partners. So before we get started with that information, we'll go through our standard procedures here, get the approval of the minutes, the approval of the treasury report, and then the president report. So the approval of the minutes, the members only of the council receive a copy of last month's meeting minutes. And I hope that you all had opportunity to look over the minutes. If we were in person, then everybody would have had a copy of the minutes. But right now we're sending the minutes out to the members. So if you had opportunity to look over the minutes from last month, can I get a motion to accept the minutes if there's any corrections or accept the minutes?
I move that we accept the minutes as printed.
Any second?
I second.
So it was moved by Ms. Van, second by Pastor Joey, that the minutes will be approved. Are there any discussions? Any discussions? No discussion. So the minutes will carry on as approved, as printed. Thank you. Treasury report. Let me do this. I'm supposed to be doing this. Hold on one second. Let me do this. So we did the minutes. So let's look at the treasury report. That just reminded me when I said treasury report, that I need to pull up the treasury report. Here's the treasury report. I'm not sure if you can see this clearly or not, but Ms. Van, just go through the treasury report, please.
Okay, as you look at these on screen, you'll see the treasury report for the month of May. In the month of May, we had dues of $129.88, which give us a year to total. You see on here as of the day since January up to May 28th, we have collected $1,368.29. Our expense for the month of May was $40, and that was for the IRS for our nonprofit taxes that we have to pay yearly, and that was $40. And so as you look at that and our end total of expense for the year has been $1,056.25. And okay, yeah, that's what it is. And so I already see something what I did not put on here. Again, as you look at the total summation, as of 1st of May, we had $3,523.69. We had income of $29. We had expense of $40, which leaves us a total on hand of $3,613.57. In our savings accounts, we got our 1 cent, and that is at Chase Bank, which gave us $1,625.30. And then we have our SunTrust savings, and we received 6 cents last month, and that gave us a total of $7,783.43 on hand. So when you add in all of our operating expenses funds that we have on hand, as of May 30th, we have $13,022.23 on hand. Are there any questions?
No question.
All right.
So we need approval for the treasury report.
I motion to approve it.
Pastor Joey motion to approve it. Any seconds?
Joe
Second.
Caldwell, second.
Thank you, Joe. So there's no discussion. So the treasury report is approved. Thank you, Ms. Van, for the treasury report. And thank y'all, everyone. This thing is spent. We received new members here. You saw in the report where Ms. Van listed. I need everyone to mute their lines, please. I need everyone to mute their line because I'm getting feedback. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. We received several new membership. I appreciate that. Those that has joined within this last month. I was trying to think offhand who these persons were, but I cannot. But there's a couple of businesses that also became sponsors and partnered with us this past month. I think we had MJ Solutions. We had Dr. Nichols' business that became a partner with us. That is the professional educators. Okay, Dr. Nichols.
That's correct. I take myself off mute.
Thank you.
Progressive Professionalism, Consulting
Thank you.
and Staff Development.
They became a member. And we also had Bettina, what is Glenn's business? Herba. The Herba food consultant, the food nutritionist, Glen Providence business. You're on mute, Bettina. Thank you.
I'm sorry.
Thank you, Bettina.
He has his own business and he works for a business. He works for Ebony Nutrition.
That's who he signed up on as a new a business
Oh, good.
partner. Yes, he did.
Right.
So that's where the income came in from last month. We had a couple of people to sign in May. So thank you very much. So there's no discussion about the treasury report. The president report is going to be pretty brief. I mentioned to you all earlier that we been getting questions of when we're going to meet in person again. So I was able to speak with Ms. LaVon Williams today, and she had good news, and we're going to go with that. They're looking at the last of June, perhaps in July, that we will be able to meet in person again, but it will not be at full capacity. So as we move forward, we will continue to do some kind of a Zoom and a meet in person. We just received the word today, so the board will meet at our meeting in June to work out how we're going to move forward as far as meeting in person, and also continue to do Zoom and Facebook Live, because there's many want to meet in person, and I'm sure there's many that still want to do Zoom and Facebook Live. But the good news is, as of now, we will be moving forward by July, if not July, at least by August, meeting in person again. So Mr. Joe, to answer your question, but the board need to work out how we're going to do this. So thank you very much, everybody, for being patient and waiting until we got to this moment. And we're going to thank the county for opening this thing up for us again. The other thing from the president report, we have been working on a project, the council has been working on a project on the corner of Powers Drive and Clark Corner Court Road. And let's see if I can share this. Share screen, where is it? Let me stop sharing. Let me do this. And what I'm getting at is that, exit portion. Let me go down from here. Let me go here on my desktop. That's why I want my desktop. No, forget it. Okay, I'm sorry about that, people. I'm not getting what I'm looking for, and I don't want to. Okay. Okay. Full screen. I'm back. So there's a piece on the corner of, I'm coming through twice. That's a piece of property on the corner of Clark Corner Court Road and Powers Drive. So what did I do? So is someone, am I still coming through twice?
I only see you once.
But I'm coming through twice, or I'm getting an echo. Can you hear me twice?
No.
Okay,
I do, Patricia. I do hear the background, the feedback. Several people have their mics unmuted.
yeah. So if everyone would mute their lines, please. I'm hoping that's the only problem.
Patricia, I'm going to go ahead and mute everyone except for you.
Okay, thank you. Okay. But it just came through again. Let me get out of here. Okay. Anyway, I think it's better. There's a piece of property on the corner of Claire Corner Road and Powers Drive. And it's on the northwest corner on Claire Corner Road and Powers Drive. And can y'all hear me? And the
Yes,
property there is, I have lost my the thought here. So I'm going to come back because I am distracted because I'm hearing myself twice, unfortunately. So I'm going to come back and I'm going to do my presentation later. If y'all don't mind until I work this thing here out, because I'm not focused right now. I'm sorry. So I'm gonna move to our partners, and our partners are our Orange County Sheriff Department
Miss
and
Patricia,
Evans High
just
School. And the Orange County
Patricia,
Sheriff
just really
Department
quick.
is here. A captain is here. Go ahead and give us an update, Captain, please.
Hey, good evening. Good evening, everybody. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
Yes.
I can.
All right. So talking about some of the issues that we've had in the past, traffic being a major concern, especially along Hiawassee Road. So I'll give you an update on that. Year to date is 1,775 traffic stops in Pine Hills with 608 citations issued. We'll talk, I'll move briefly here to our crime rates. Year to date, Pine Hills is down 28% as opposed to last year at this time. We do have a slight uptick this 3-week period. We do crime control on a three-week period, reporting period. We are up 3 more robberies than we were the previous reporting period, but I'm happy to tell you that 5 of those were toll booth robberies, and those have been solved, and the people responsible for all 5 have been arrested. The area of concern for me at this time is that there is there's a steady creeping increase of persons crimes, and the persons crimes, to define them for you, are shootings, assaults, batteries, things like that. And we've had several shooting events throughout Pine Hills in this last 3-week reporting period. It appears that there are some rival groups that are between Pine Hills, South Apopka, and Winter Garden that are in a feud of some type. The problem is that sometimes these folks are very, the shootings are bad to begin with, but they just throw bullets. And, we don't, that's when those extremely unfortunate things happen, that some innocent party that's sleeping in their home or driving by in a car, as we experienced at Powers and Silver Star a couple years ago with a young lady. Those things happen. So any help that we can get from the community on identifying who these folks are, it is my deepest desire to remove these folks from being able to harm the community. And if anybody has information related to that, listen, I really strongly implore you to reach out. You can call Crime Line. I put my email address up earlier to the group. You can send me an email. You can send me a direct message here if you don't want to speak out, but it is my strongest desire to keep people, the good citizens, which is 99.9% of the folks in Pine Hills, from becoming victims of these folks who have no regard for anybody else's safety. So again, please help us. help us help you and keep these crimes of violence from occurring. That's all I have for you tonight. If I won't open to any questions or concerns that you might have.
Kevin, what I'm trying to do is work on a project of Grand Pine Hills.
Hold on.
Is there a way?
Okay, Ken.
Yes, ma'am. I was, if there's a way to share help us the spot where people have crimes that were not different than any other part of Orange County. I don't know if there's a statistic that
I think we're having
Is any-
difficulty. We're having difficulty hearing him.
Okay.
Some technical issues.
Hey, Ken. Ken, can you mute one of those lines? Can you disconnect? You're on twice. Can you please disconnect?
And Patricia, I haven't acted the raise hand feature for you.
Patricia, I have a question
Yes.
for Captain. I've noticed last weekend that we've had, when there's an increased gang activity, we've noticed that there are 3 walls that have been, there are holes in 3 of our walls. Is there any connection that you've determined over the years with gang initiation and rivalry and them putting holes in walls, driving cars into walls?
You know, I used to work when I was a younger man in our gang unit, and the holes in walls is not one that I'm familiar with. Oftentimes, any kind of a gang requires, kind of as a prerequisite, the commission of criminal acts in order to show, A, that you're not some kind of an infiltrator, you're not a, you know, some Miami Vice kind of UC cop trying to get into there, but also so that they can hold something over your head. Like if you're involved in the same crimes they are, then you're not going to rat on them because you stand to lose as much as they do. The holes in walls I'm not familiar with. Is that cars crashing into walls?
I'm assuming that they are getting a hold of cars and crashing them into walls.
Yeah, I haven't heard that one about that issue yet. If you tell me where they are, I can try to research those.
I certainly. We have several on Powers, North Powers Drive and Claricona Coley Road in that area.
Okay.
And they popped up in one weekend.
Yeah, that's not something that I'm familiar with as far as being any kind of a gang related thing. You know, like I said, I did that specific task when I was a much younger man. I can look into it for you though.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, and I'd like to thank you, Dennis, from the Sheriff Department. We really appreciate your support. I'd just like to, and this has been reported, but it's interesting that you say that because we are seeing in our area an increased number of, we're hearing more police sirens, if you will, and helicopters over, if you will. And also just recently in my neighborhood, unfortunately, we've never had this happen. And I've been in my community now for over 27 years where 2 cars came speeding through and my daughter and her daughter were outside in the streetway area and these cars were chasing each other. So it's something that we're very concerned about and is something that I've never seen before in the area off of Hiawassee, just north of Colonial Drive, near the Cultural Center area, if you know where that is.
Yes, ma'am.
And it was very scary at the time. and we immediately reported it. However, I don't know if they caught those 2 cars. They were black cars with dark tinted windows. That's all that we can describe, because my daughter was running with my granddaughter trying to get out of harm's way. But again, it's a concern. So I'm just wondering, with this uptick, what is it that Orange County is looking at doing? And I know you can't divulge a lot of information here, or maybe you can, maybe a tad, but it's important for us to know that you guys, the vigilance is still there, and that we know that we are still safe, because that's certainly a concern with Colonial, Pine Hills, all being major corridors. And again, these infiltrators, if you will, and I hate to say that, but it is what it is, are taking these routes, and they know which routes they can go and kind of run and get away with. But then when they come through the neighborhoods where there's only 22 homes and so much room to get out, it's kind of frightening.
Absolutely. I very well appreciate what you're saying there. So yeah, I'm not going to divulge a whole lot, but there's been a long-term investigation going on that is related to probably some of the more significant folks that are responsible for a lot of, especially our violent crime issues. And I don't think that that's going to be a lot longer in progress before we're going to start seeing some results and that wrapping up. Aside from that, I have 2 squads of folks that are called the community-oriented policing squads.
Yeah.
And I can tell you on a weekly basis, they're taking anywhere from 5 to 15 firearms off the streets. Most of the folks that we're aware that are committing these acts of violence are familiar people to us. And listen, I want to emphasize, I said earlier, 99.9% of the residents of Pine Hills are just regular good citizens of our community. It's that 1/10 of 1%.
Yeah.
A lot of those folks are well known to us, and part of our frustration, and this hasn't been directly related to Pine Hills, but I'll tell you, some of this violence is spilling over to like the Bay Street area of Winter Garden.
Yeah.
And it's also going to Tildenville. It's going to South Apopka. And we're having crimes of violence occur there. And I'll give you an example. In one of those communities, we had a drive-by shooting on the 16th of last month, actually. Today's June 1st. And 3 homes were shot up in multiple vehicles in this drive-by, just violence, right? So it's people coming into the community that have a beef, if you will, with somebody who lives in a particular residence. And it's almost like a movie. Like they just start shooting up the neighborhood, right? Then the person who the beef is with comes out of their home and they start shooting up back at the car that's doing the shooting. Well, when it all said and done, there's about 5 victims of that, right? Nobody's hit, by the grace of God. Nobody's hit with a bullet. But the people who are the innocent victims of having their cars and their homes shot up, they all take payouts from these drug dealing thugs not to prosecute. Now, I know who all of these guys are. I know them all.
Mm-hmm.
I know them all, which is significant. As I'm not talking about the guys working the road. I know who they are. But in order for us to successfully prosecute these folks, we have to have victims who are willing to press charges and testify and put these folks out of your community. Oftentimes, I find this is the case. But that aside, knowing who these folks are, those community-oriented policing squads, they are tasked with focusing on this 1/10 of 1% of the community that's causing this fear and causing this terror in your community. And listen, they've got our full attention. And that's where these guns are coming from. Drug trafficking, and I've said this before in these meetings, folks, you can believe me or not.
Yeah.
Every single quality of life crime comes back to one singular commonality: drugs. Every single one of them. These folks are trafficking drugs, they're stealing identities, they're committing credit card fraud, they're committing IRS fraud, you name it, but they're shooting up your communities, right? So those other things you can say, well, maybe those are victimless. They're the ones driving through your neighborhoods, chasing, like you're saying, through your neighborhood, putting you in fear for the well-being of your children. And, you know, again, I implore everybody who's on here, copy down my email address. You don't have to do it here. I completely respect the fact that folks are in fear. But if you help me figure out who the ones that I don't know are, who are responsible for this, I assure you, I have no greater calling in life than removing these folks from your community. This is my whole purpose. I've done this job for 26 years. And it is to protect the innocent from those folks. I have no respect for them. We'll focus on them. I just need to know who they are. I'll figure out a way to figure out what they're doing dirty and take them out of your community, because it's just a matter of time before we bury another child, before we have another child that becomes a quadriplegic, et cetera, because of the violence of these folks. There's no room for them in our society, and we have to do whatever we can do collectively together. Let's work as a team and remove this from our community.
Agreed. Thank you for that. And you don't have to worry about me.
Yes,
I will
ma'am.
report. However,
Well,
like you said, it's getting the
I
whole
see Ms.
community
Van
to do
hand-
the same thing.
I see Ms.
Yeah.
Van hand is up. Ms. Van?
Unmute, just unmute.
Hold on, hold on,
The,
hold
the
on.
race,
hold on.
it was me. The racing,
Mrs. Miss,
Okay.
thank you.
okay, I'm concerned about the racings of the cars up and down Silver Star Road. I live off of Powers, and every time I go there, it seems like just in minutes that somebody's, you know, racing, other cars are racing each other. Do we have anything in the work for as doing a, you know, highway patrols, you know, a stakeout or something, because they are racing up and down those roads, and it is and we have enough accident as it is normally at Powers and Silver Star, but the way these kids are racing each other up and down these roads, it petrifies me and stuff. And I get to that stop sign and I'm like, I want to wait 2 minutes, and that's not, you know, you can't do that and stuff to make sure these cars are stopping. So do we have anything with this highway patrol with the, you know, doing a stakeout on Silver Star?
So yes, I can't speak to Silver Star in particular to give you data, but I can tell you in the Pine Hills area, we have done 1,775 traffic stops and issued 608 citations year to date. And I can tell you that's not slowing up. We aren't taking off. We aren't taking our foot off the pedal on that. We're going to continue to do it. I'm not gonna try to, you know, snow you on this. We can't be there all the time, every time that someone's doing this, but we're putting a lot of effort into Hiawassee, Silver Star, Pine Hills Road, and a couple of other streets for this racing activity. Hiawassee's infamous for it, and we're putting a lot of effort into it.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Are there any more questions? And guess what, people? I figured out where the echo was coming from.
Okay.
The echo was coming from me. I was listening to Facebook on my computer. So I'm hearing it live, but I'm also hearing it through Facebook. I'm sorry, good people. So at least I solved the problem. I can relax. I won't be uptight. So, but thank you. Are there any more questions for Captain Dennis before we move on?
If not, I'll
No
give
more
you
questions?
a couple more pieces of information if you'd like
Okay.
to hear it.
Yes.
So typically what leads our crime rates are property crimes, and in particular that's burglaries. So I tell you, we had 19 cases of residential burglaries in the last 3 weeks, and in those we've made 8 arrests. Some of those arrests are from multiple residences, so we're taking that very seriously, and we are getting some great results between our investigators, our patrol deputies on that. We had 5 cases of commercial burglaries, and in those 5 cases, we had 5 arrests. So that's businesses that are being burglarized generally overnight. We had a small spike last reporting period. So our last meeting I talked about, we had 17 vehicles that were burglarized in the the Rolling Hills, the Rolling Hills area and Silver Pines area. And we were able to make an arrest on that as well, that we believe is an individual. We caught somebody in the act, and we believe that they're responsible for the bulk of those as well. So we're making good progress on those types of crimes. They're staying lower in our numbers than they were last year. Again, I just want to emphasize to everybody, it's those persons crimes, and in particular, what concerns me, it's not just in Pine Hills, it's throughout Sector 3, and it's also throughout Sector 1, which goes up through South Apopka. There's a lot of shootings going on. And, you know, I don't know if anybody remembers the young lady at Powers and Silver Star 2 years ago that was unfortunate enough to be riding in the car, and she caught around, and she was a quadriplegic as a result of that.
Yes, yes.
We had a young lady at Silver Star and John Young just a week and a half ago that caught some bullets, and she died as a result, innocent party. I don't want to see any more of that happen. So help me, you know, if you know something, let us know. It can be Crime Line. You don't have to tell me, just help us, please, because we don't want to see this happen anymore. And unfortunately, most of these folks that are responsible for this are like 15, 16, 17, 18-year-olds. And that's a sad story in itself. But listen, we can't let people die while we let these young men terrorize our communities. And that's all I have. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Captain. Thank you for your support. I know it's not an easy job, but you, the Sheriff Department is doing what they could do as law enforcement. And to your point, it's up for the community to, like they say, if you see something, say something. It's up for the community, and it's up for the prosecutors once we know who these people are, but to prosecute, to prosecute. And so thank you so much for the update, and thank you for being a partner with the Pine Hills Community Council.
Groups like yours, I'm going to tell you, groups like yours is the whole difference. You really are the entire difference in the shift. And this partnership that we're able to achieve, it is such a significant difference. Again, when I was a young man, I used to run around Pine Hills as a young deputy. Pine Hills isn't a 50th of what it was in the 90s with the violence. And it's because of groups like you. I'm trying to encourage the folks in Tildenville to come forward and create a group like you have here. And I might reach out to you individually and see if you can help them out in organizing something like this. Because everywhere I see these groups occur, I see a reduction in crime.
Good.
I see a good relationship established between my agency and the community, and I see these problems resolved. And I really want to encourage folks to keep doing that. So thank you for what you do.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, we'll go on through the agenda. I think we're still on good time. I want to be able to bring our speaker up, but I think we're still on good time. It's just 7:08. So let's go through our, is Evans High School here? Not doctor, but Miss Turnley, she's not here. So let's move on to, let me go back to the agenda, make sure I don't omit anything on the agenda. Let's go back. Oh, but Evans High School is not here, but you know what? I want to share this. Are you all there?
Yeah, we hear you.
Good. Okay. Let me share this. Share. Evans High School is not here, but I do want to share this. Congratulations to two students that from Evans High School that received scholarship from the Pine Hills Community Council. Yes, yes. These are honor students at Evans High School, and there's a scholarship that Pine Hills Community Council give out every year. The total amount of the scholarship is $1,000. So, and $500 goes to each student. These students must live in the Pine Hills area, and they must have at least a 2.0 GPA. But most of these students have a 3.0 or 4.0 GPA or even better. Two of these young ladies came from the Flutes, one of our partners, United United Foundation of Central Florida, and they do several community service hours. I think either 100 or 200 community service hours a year. They must be actively engaged. They presented a essay to us. So we're pleased to give these students $500 toward their education. They also are students that go into Valencia. We have partnered with Valencia College now. So Evans High School graduates, congratulations to all the graduates for 2021. So let me go back to the agenda. I think we can, so we did the president report. So let's go through our committees, We got the beautification committee, then the economic committee, education committee, and then the mayor's initiative committee. So a couple of updates. So about 3 minutes each, please, for each committee. Beautification committee, Dr. Nichols.
Yes, thank you, Madam Rump, for the opportunity to just share with the community and the council members about some of the different anti-litter and community beautification items that we have been covering. The Pine Hills Community Neighborhood Beautification Anti-Litter Committee will be hosting the annual or the Pickup Pine Hills on Saturday, June 26th. Mark your calendars, folks. We are excited about this new opportunity, and we're looking at the event taking place from 10 a.m. until 1 p.m. So a little bit longer this time, but basically we're looking at areas within the Pine Hills area that are desperately needing additional cleanup. Although we cleaned up the area with the Earth Day, and we thank everyone that attended. We had so many volunteers and community members and partners that participated and actually showed up and cleaned up the area. We wanted to make sure and continue this partnership that Pastor Joey and Myra and Jody and Madam Rump have started, and we want to continue this opportunity and allow opportunities for the community as well as residents and business partners to participate in this particular cleanup. There is a flyer that will be shared. We will be sharing that flyer with you so that way you'll have that information as to the actual time and location. Please help spread the word, because we need to help our residents and our citizens and business partners know that littering is illegal. And we see so much of it across our community. And why is that? We want to start the educational process, and we're looking to work with some of the members. I heard one of our Flutie alumni is on board today. We're going to start some literature that will help to educate the community about anti-litter and beautification. And that's very critical and important as we move forward. Secondly, I want to Jason Reynolds and his department with Orange County government and the whole code enforcement side of the house and compliance. They've done a wonderful job. And let me see if I can share my screen, Patricia. I don't know if you have those pictures, Patricia, that we can share with the community.
I only did one. You said just only do one.
That's fine.
Okay.
One is perfect. Yes, absolutely. So the particular visual that you have here is basically this information was shared by Mr. Jason Reynolds at the 2050 vision plan this morning. And this actually kind of shows what they're looking at with the 411 or the 311, excuse me, is engaging the neighborhood and community and strengthening the community through the neighborhoods. So we know that within our Pine Hills area, we are an older community, which is highlighted here. And the whole emphasis is preservation and revitalization and beautification. And in order to do that, we, the community, the residents, the business owners within this area, we socialize, we live in this area, our grandkids, et cetera, hopefully will grow up in this community. So the bulleted points there actually identify within the 2050 plan what we're looking at doing, or what the county and the planners are looking at doing as far as developing for the Pine Hills area, is that we need to prevent or reverse signs of decline. And we can do that through blight, crime prevention, and physical deterioration. Maintaining aging and infrastructure, likely to provide redevelopment opportunities as we move forward. And then, of course, with the younger community or younger neighborhoods and the new millennials coming in, it's our hope that they will see additional challenges, but it is our hope to involve and engage them at this time so that way we will have a plan of action as we move forward. And their insight is critical as this new plan takes place. So housing preservation is essential as we move forward. And that is part of what the Anti-Litter and Communication Beautification Committee is looking at doing. So we are excited to look at things that we're hoping to engage and involve the community in, which is code violations, using 311 every day. Anytime that you see some type of litter or litter control is emphasis out there in our community, take those pictures and send that information into 311 because Jason Reynolds and his team, we have since seen some movement, of course, with short staff and COVID. We're kind of past that right now, but hopefully the hiring of new staff will be able to see more individuals out in the community helping with those initiatives that are actually outlined by Pine Hills Community Council. So we're working together with the county and the government on cleanup initiatives and beautification and trying to align all of our efforts so that we're working smarter, not harder. So that's very important. And lastly, I want to make sure I cover this. And this one's really important because this is a call to action. As we continue to grow in our Pine Hills area, we need additional support and volunteers. We need members on our council that are able to dedicate time and service and their talents and their input to help us in our community initiatives. And the more hands, the better. As we align our efforts with the county and with the 2050 plan and residents, we want to ensure that we're supporting all of the different areas of Pine Hills. We are large, we're vast, and in some areas more dense than others, but we definitely want to get all the input that we can. So we want to make sure we're hitting all those age ranges. Ms. Sandra, Fatima, I know you're out there and you're in our meeting tonight, and we want to make sure that those students, they're already engaged. We need additional support and students to support. And I'm going to call it out for the Anti-Litter and Beautification Department, the committee. We need your help, so please sign up and go to info.pinehills and sign up and look at those committees. We need you.
Thank you, thank you. Thank you, that's our beautification committee. We're running close to time, but I do want to give, thank you, Dr. Nichols. I do want to give the education committee their opportunity to let us give the latest update with what's going on in education. Sandra Fatman, please.
Okay, good evening, everyone. Good evening to the board, Madam President. Okay, so I will make mine very short. School ended May 25th. And yeah, so there's so many things that are behind me now. And now I can definitely give my all. So starting this month, I will coordinate with the education committee members to meet monthly to work on what our plan is for the summer. We intend to start here the second week in June to start doing some classes here. So as soon as I get together with the committee, we'll decide what day we'll meet, but Friday looks good for me. So I'll get with everyone to make sure, because we have a food drive this Thursday. So if I tell you I'm going to do something before Thursday, that's not true. It will not happen. So we'll definitely meet to discuss on Friday, if that works for everyone, when I call the meeting to discuss what the further plans are for the education committee. But there's several ideas that have been tossed around, so I won't put them all out here because that's not what this forum is for. Just to let you know that the education committee is up and running this month of June, and we will execute, and we look forward to everyone's support.
And I see that you're in your new building.
Yes, ma'am.
Congratulations again. She's in a new building.
I appreciate that. Yes, thank you. Thank you. Thank you for your support.
You're welcome.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm gonna do one more update before we go to our speaker. I'm sorry, Miss Cloud, if you give us a 2 minutes update on the Pine Hill Safe Neighborhood, please. Miss Rosalind, is she still on?
No, I'm going to do the update on Safe Neighborhood.
2 minutes, Ken.
No problem, no problem. We're
Thank
going to be
you.
having our meeting on June 8th at 6:30. It's a virtual meeting. So you can contact Rosalind or Allison down there in Neighborhood Services, so you can find out what's happening. What we're trying to do is work, my end is to work on the rebranding of Pine Hills and see what we can do to change the images. I've been sending information to the Pine Hills Council on all these graphs they keep coming up with. So therefore, I'll talk to you on Thursday next week.
Thank you. Is that your phone ringing, Ken? Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Thank you, thank you. And there was a call to action for we need members of each committee. Go to our website and sign up on the committee. See when these committee meet and see if these times fit into your schedule and sign up for the committee because there's work to be done. Thank you so much. Let's bring up our speaker to give her some time. Our guest speaker, Ms. Esme Dennis. She is one of our sponsors and one of our partners as well. And she is a recruiter, a foster parent recruiter, I think specifically for the Pine Hills area. Ms. Esme Dennis.
Good evening, everyone. This is actually going to be my first time trying to share. I do have a PowerPoint that I want to share. If someone can kind of tell me what I need to do with that.
Let me make you a, let's see how we can work this down. Go back to full screen. Then go back to here. And where are you? I'm going to find you on here and make you co-host. And once I make you co-host, then you should be able to share your PowerPoint.
And voila.
Good, there we go.
And before I start, I want to share that I really appreciate you, Miss Patricia. When you and I first connected pre-COVID, you didn't ask me no questions. You immediately emailed me and say, sure, I would love to have you join our community if you think it's something that you're interested in, and I'm going to help you. So with that being said, I'm not only a foster parent recruiter for the Pine Hills area, but that is one of my focus. I'm a foster parent recruiter for Osceola as well as West Orange counties. I work with Embrace Families, as you can see here. Our motto is to build strong families and strong communities. And please bear with me, I've never done this kind of stuff. I've never shared a screen before, embarrassing. We believe that every child deserves a safe, stable, and loving home. And together as a team, we believe that we can make it happen.
Mm-hmm.
And who are we? As I stated, we're Embrace Families. We're the leading child welfare agency in the Tri-County area. We cover Orange, Seminole, and Osceola counties and do anything that's pretty much child welfare related. We have 2 recruiters. I do the Osceola and West Orange, and Wendy, my coworker, she does Seminole and East Orange. Who am I? I am the foster parent recruiter, as I stated earlier. And as a recruiter, I go into the communities and bring awareness to the need for foster homes, especially the need for teen homes. I've had the pleasure of working in child welfare, in the child welfare field for over 20 years. And I relocated here from Connecticut in 2017 and have been working with Embrace Families since 2018.
Very good. Okay.
My main goal is to bring awareness to our communities, letting them know we have children who are placed in our system of care needing temporary homes. Hear that? Temporary homes due to no fault of their own. And that would prompt me to reach out to Patricia, after doing some research, and I'm so glad to have had the opportunity to be on these meetings whenever these meetings occur, because to me, it's just like a big family. And I'm glad that she gave me that opportunity to be on these meetings, because that way I can make connections, letting people know that there is a need. There is a need. And just like you guys have this family knit community here, it just touches my heart, because maybe you don't want to foster. You may know someone who do, or you may allow me the opportunity to speak or share or connect people with our children. Although we need homes for children between the ages of 0 and 17, our greatest needs are older youth and teens. We do have partners that we partner with: Gulf Coast, Children Home Society, Children Homes Network, I forgot to add that, and One Hope United. These are agencies that provide the services for the children that we have in care. So if you become a foster parent, you will not be alone. You will have one of these agencies, depending on where you're located, to work with you to make sure that not only you as a foster parent needs are met, but as well as the children that you're going to be taking care of for us. How and why do kids come into care? Children come into care for many reasons due to the abuse and neglect and abandonment. Once they are in care, we are looking for temporary foster homes to love and keep them safe. But before a child is put into care, there's a community that works together. I call it community, but there's a department that works together looking for family members or friends to see if they would take these children into care, into their care before they actually come into foster care. You know, we don't want to add trauma upon the children by removing them from familiarity. So if they're with a family member or a friend, that kind of minimizes the trauma, not necessarily take the trauma all away, but it minimizes them going into an unfamiliar place. The process to become a foster parent, we offer classes. And at the moment, because of the pandemic, these classes are free and they're on Zoom. The classes are always free, but they're normally face-to-face. But because of the pandemic, they're actually on Zoom. Classes are 10 weeks long. I know you're saying, what? I have a life. Yeah, I know. But they're 10 weeks long, 1 day a week from 6 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. All classes are mandatory. If you miss a class, you would have to make those classes up. And I think the trainers only allow about 2 classes to be missed, because the more you miss, the further you are behind. So they don't want you to miss any more classes, more than 2 classes. Once completed, you will receive a certificate that's good for 5 years. Once the 5 years are up, you would just do like a little retraining for 3 hours, and then you'll be recertified again. How can you help me? This is not going to take long. We're almost finished. Allow me to attend staff meetings and share. Connect me with churches. Host a Q&A session. What is that? That's an informational session we have, just like what I'm doing right now. We tell about our program, and then you're able to ask questions if you're interested. Allow flyers in your businesses and newsletters. Allow my flyers on your social media. Let me know about events and festivals. I will be there with my table displaying the need for foster home, as well as the information about our program. Just like I said, it wasn't going to take long. I appreciate you, Madam Rump. As Dr. Latanya says, I like that. I thank you so much for allowing me to participate within this organization. And then if you have any questions, I will be glad to answer those questions.
Okay. Stop sharing your screen. There we go. Are there any questions for Ms. Dennis about the foster care program? Any questions? Okay. Put your contact information in the chat, please, in case someone do want to contact you and maybe invite you to their church or to the sorority group or to the event that's going on. So put the information in the chat in case someone do want to contact you. Thank you so much for sharing, and thank you for being a recruit for foster care. That's a very needed organization because there's kids in foster care, and you see Channel 9 advertise several times about kids needing home and foster care.
And
So-
those are actually our children, Madam Patricia. Those are the children that we have in our adoption care program. But at the moment, our adoption program is on pause. So that's why I didn't mention adoption.
Someone said, would you like to speak further on the foster care classes information? I guess what type of information is shared during these classes?
Yes, so the classes are like trauma-informed content. That's what those classes are. If this is what you're asking me, Melissa, these classes are designed to help you pretty much understand what you will probably be facing when it comes to the different children that are in our care, because we try to remind people that these kids have been traumatized. You have no thought of the trauma that these children have experienced or have endured. I'm actually a foster parent as well, but I'm not a traditional foster parent. Whenever a family member can't get from another state here in Florida to Florida to get the children, I could be like a 24-hour to a 72-hour stopover where I would take care of the child and make sure the child is safe. That way that child would not go into care because a family member is on the way to pick that child up. So our classes are designed to make sure that with different type of topics, because there's sexual abuse, there's domestic violence, you name it, it's out there. So the trainers are there to teach you how to better deal with the children or our babies that you will be working with.
Thank you. A good question. Any
Thank
other
you so much.
questions? Any other questions? Peggy, what is the typical time frame that a child remains in your custody?
Thank you, Peggy. So the judge tries to give a family about 6 months to a year. We do not like to go beyond that. What happens, the judge orders the family to work a case plan. And what a case plan is a written information that the families have to abide by. It could be substance abuse, it could be domestic violence, anger management, whatever. The families probably, the reason why the family probably lost the children in the first place, the case manager have to come together with a plan to help those families get those children back. So we try not to go longer than a year. Has it gone longer than a year? In some cases, yes, it has, because maybe the family started off good, something happened, and then they backtracked. Started off good, something happened, and it backtracked.
Okay, thank you. Good question. Any other questions before we move on?
Miss Rom?
Yes,
Hi, this is Dr. Richburg.
yes.
Yes, I see my sister, Dr. Williams, Laverne Williams, on there, just came in, sneaking in.
Okay, hi.
Hi, Dr. Williams. Yes, but I wanted to say that I was a foster parent many, many years ago before I got married to my
Wow.
husband, Elder Richburg. Yes. And it was like maybe, I would say about 28 years ago or so. So when she talks about trauma, I can actually tell you the type of trauma this child went through as an example. This particular child, I'm sure she's a grown woman at this time. Her mother had 12 children. And what happened is that when her boyfriend sat this child down on a hot plate. So she literally had burns on her butt from the hot plate. I literally saw this child go through multiple personalities changes. So, these children go through major, major trauma. And this child was so traumatized that she would even beat up the teachers. She would beat up her foster parents. She would beat up the psychiatrist until she got me, of course. Then that was a total change. But it just shows you how important it is to be a part of these children's lives as they go through this trauma. There's also a child that was in my class this year whose parent, apparently, I don't know if they smoked something or whatever, but the mother died immediately after she smoked it. And the father took off and ran and jumped off of the, I guess, the ledge or the porch. And so he's in a coma. So she automatically had to go into foster care. Okay,
Wow.
he went to a group home and into foster care. But I knew that something was going on with this child because this particular child was hiding in the bathroom instead of coming to class. So these are the things that, you know, just a little bit of what I have seen over the years. And I have been a foster parent. I've been through that tedious, long 9-10 week course. But, you know, it's very important to take that course because it teaches you how to handle those kids. So I just thought I would just put my input on that. Since
Thank
I'm
you.
familiar with the program.
Thank you, Doc, for sharing very much. Thank you. So we see the needs. These kids need our support. They need our love. So if you know anybody, spread the word. Ms. Dennis will get you information that you need. Yes, ma'am, your hand is up.
Yes, I just wanted to say one more thing. I'm sorry. Okay, when I do share this, some people say, well, I can't financially do this. I have to make so much money. You want me to have thousands of dollars in my account. All of that is a myth, okay? I don't know if any of you are thinking that, but I just want you to know that part. All of that is a myth. There's a stipend that we do get. We don't just go out saying, here, you get this stipend, come foster our children, because we want you to have the compassion to foster our children. I can tell you there is a stipend as well as the state takes care of them medically. This is not a get rich type of job that I do. I take my work very seriously. There's a scripture says there's a charge that I keep and there's a God that I glorify in everything that I do, everything, that even when it comes to fostering. So I just wanted to put that out there, that part out there.
Thank you very much. Thanks for sharing. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. I'm going to move on. Thank you, people, for maintaining and staying here with us. I'm going to move on. We have several of the representatives here. We have Peggy from Congressman Val Demings' office. We have Destiny and also Athena. So and also Ms. Rose Nancy. So I'm going to give us some updates with what's going on at your office. Anybody?
Hello, can you hear me, Patricia?
Yes, we can. Thanks, Peggy.
Awesome. Hi, everyone. This month is Pride Month. I want everyone to just remember and embrace our fellow LGBTQ brothers and sisters, you know. Just want to wish everyone a safe and supportive Pride Month, and we see you, we love you, we celebrate with you. I just wanted to mention, because we've gotten a few calls of people concerned with the COVID vaccination sites. I know that the federally supported COVID vaccination site over at Valencia West Campus is continuing to administer the second dose. Okay. And they will continue to do that until June 16th. I want everybody to know Orange County also still has their drive-through site at Barnett Park. They are still doing homebound vaccination requests. We are going to continue to vaccinate until everyone is vaccinated, God willing, you know, if they choose to do so. And I want people to remember that the eligibility age is starting at 12 years old. So I just want people to remember that and to encourage them, you know, if you know, I want them to do their research, because I know there's a lot of hesitancy, but to get vaccinated. I just did want to mention as well, we are, the Haitian League of Pastors is working so diligently with Dr. Francois and the mobile unit over with Orange County and Florida Department of Health to kind of get out to the churches and get that done. So the next date that they have going on is June 12th. And it's going to be an amazing event. So I want you guys to stay tuned for information on that because it's open to everyone. But we're especially encouraging our Haitian brothers and sisters to get vaccinated. So just wanted to share that information and just let everyone know if there's anything that we can assist with. We are here to do so. So thank you so much for allowing me to say that, Patricia.
You're welcome.
We appreciate our partnership with Pine Hills Community Council.
And we appreciate your partnership as well. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Destiny?
Hello, everyone. I just wanted to let you all know Representative McCurdy will be having a painting and politics event on this Saturday, June the 5th. And it's basically called Painting and Politics with Representative McCurdy. I dropped the flyer in the chat, and I'm also going to add the link to register, but he'll just be providing you all updates on legislative session, what to expect, and just different things that will, upcoming events that we'll be having for District 46. So on the flyer is the email, and then I just dropped the link as well. I'll put my email in the chat as well if you would like to get in contact with me. As far as like any questions, the time for this Saturday we have available is 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. So I look forward to seeing you all this weekend.
And thank you. And I will post your flyer.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Miss Athena, Ms. Green? Is she still on?
She got disconnected and she sends her apologies.
Oh, okay, okay. Miss Rose Nancy? Rose Nancy still on?
I am. I was stuck. My phone would not cooperate. Hi, everyone.
There we go. Much better.
Can you hear me?
Yes, kind of, sort of. Are you still there?
I am.
Ken is on now.
Well, hello, everyone.
I can hear you.
Okay, hopefully most of you have subscribed to Commissioner Siplin's newsletter.
We can't hear her, Patricia.
Okay. Are you there, Rose Nancy? No.
Can you hear me now?
It's a faint here, yes. Speak, let's see. No, it's getting better. I can hear her. Can anyone else hear Rose Nancy?
I can hear it as well. It's just
Nope.
very faint.
I
Okay,
can't hear it.
okay. She said she'll come back. Ms. Landra from the Orange County Tax Collector?
Hello, all. I do not have anything from the Orange County Tax Collector's Office. I hope, but did want to make an announcement, even though his office is not here. For Phil Diamond's office, I actually attended an event recently, and I know we had the tax sale today, so hopefully some of you all were able to take advantage of some of those properties that were available. But the comptroller's office actually has a new website where he can actually give you a fraud alert if anything happens, any transaction happens on your property. It's free to sign up. I do not have the web information. I'll try to get it before we finish and drop it into the chat, where you go in and you sign it for an actual fraud alert, because as you all well know, particularly in the Pine Hills community, how people have all these fake deeds and they claim they own all these houses when in reality they do not. And it's really bad with the rental properties and some of the abandoned properties where people are going in and doing that. So definitely we'll try to drop that in the chat before I finish. And that is all. And I hope that helps a few people. And you all please spread the word, and I'll try to get it in the chat before we finish.
Thank you. I want to see if I can share something. Is Rose Nancy back? Let me see if I can share something, because I want to encourage everyone to participate in the 2050 plan. It's on a few more days left. Are you there, Rose Nancy?
I am.
Okay, much better.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned that, Patricia. The Vision 2050 because that's one of the things I wanted to encourage everyone to pay attention to and try to make time to participate. Right now, there are currently several other sessions available. If you can go onto ocfl.net/Vision 2050 to register for the session that best works with your schedule. Each workshop will address a different subject matter. But all of that is summarized for you in Commissioner Siplin's newsletter. If you are not subscribed and would like to receive this monthly newsletter, please email me. You can send it to me directly. I'll add my address in the chat, or you can send the email to the general email inbox, which is district6@ocfl.net. The other option is via Commissioner Siplin's Facebook page. I also share the newsletter on that site as well. So read through it. Another issue that we address in the newsletter is the curbside collection delay service. There is an email address for you to email solid waste directly if you are experiencing any collection delays with your garbage, yard waste, or recycling. That email address is solid.waste@ocfl.net, basically Orange County, Florida, ocfl.net. And the other items regarding the backyard chicken keeping ordinance, there's a video of that presentation from May 18th. There's going to be a second public hearing on that matter coming up. And the other thing is redistricting. Following up to last year's 2020 census, we are going to begin the public hearings or public community outreach starting this October through December. So keep a watch on that. You can catch up on the redistricting presentation in the newsletter. And that's it for now.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you. Speaking of video, I want to share. Can y'all see this video? Hello?
Not yet.
Okay, hold on. Give me 1 second, Dan. What did I do? I didn't hit the share button. Hold on.
Patricia, while you're working on that, I was able to find that fraud alert information, and I did put it in the chat.
Okay. I want to share this brief video from the 2050 vision that we watched the other day. Let me see if I can pull this thing here up. Here we go. Can you see it? Can you?
Yes.
Okay. And it's important that we attend these sessions. And last month, several of us from Pine Hill attended the session. And these sessions are talking about the change to the comprehensive plan. And the comprehensive plan is a roadmap to the growth in the a long-range plan of growth for this Orange County area. And it's the plan, growth, and objectives to how we're going to grow in Orange County. And it's been, I was told, 57 years since this plan has been updated. And so that's why this Vision 2050 plan is out now, because the market is dictating a different type of growth. I'm just going to share just a brief segment here.
Patricia, we can't hear what she's saying.
Oh, okay. My bad. Thank you. Okay. That doesn't work then. Can you hear it now?
No,
Okay. So that doesn't work then. Okay. My bad. I want to share that, but anyway, you cannot hear it. But it's important that we participate in these sessions, and several of us was on there, and we asked questions about the Pine Hills area. Like Rose Nancy says, the Pine Hills Community Council has this last session from the Vision 2050 plan on our Facebook page. Go to the Facebook page and take the opportunity to listen to what they're talking about. It's important that we get engaged in the future and development and what's growing in the county. I don't know about you, but I like to know what's going on around me. So when things pop up, I will be saying, well, where did that come from? Where did that, how did that come about? Girl, they just building on around us. No, yes, they are. But at least I have some type of information or foresight and give my input. So please, the next two sessions will be June the 7th and June the 8th. Go on the Orange County government website and sign up for one of those 2 dates, the 7th or the 8th. Those 2 sessions will be the same thing. And then again, they will have the 5th session, which is July the 7th and July the 8th. So sign up for one of those 2. They've been having these sessions since December, and they're talking about the growth of the county and how we're going to look in 2050. So that's my little 2 cents. I'm sorry that we could not hear the video. Go to our Facebook page and listen to that presentation. Any other announcement? The last announcement, and then give any other input from someone else. Yes.
Pat, reminder, in 6 months and 11 days, we're going to be having the Great Parade on the Pine Hills Trail. And we want people to participate. And to participate, it only takes 2 people and a banner. And you can get your organization business on the Pine Hills Trail and let everyone know that you're there.
Thanks, Ken. Thanks, Ken.
What's the date?
December 11th.
Okay. Thank you,
At
Ken.
what
The
time?
Reestablishment Day Parade.
Is it
So
time?
spread. And the time, Ken? What's the time, Ken? Okay.
Oh, we don't have time yet.
I also want to share this one announcement from the Central Florida Expressway Authority. From the Central Florida Expressway Authority. They're also doing a survey. And you know, the transportation is how we move about. So go on the Central Florida Expressway Authority, do the survey, give your input on the existing expressway system, the planning for the future potential expansion projects. Just give the input of how you want the transportation to expand through our area and through Orange County. The survey is probably a 7 or 10-minute survey. Sit down with your children. If you have high school students, college students, make it a family event and sit down with them at the dinner table, grandkids, and share with them and teach them how to walk through this process and get involved, civically minded, to help develop the community in the way that they want their community to go. So that's another survey there. Go on the, I took it down, Central Florida Expressway Authority website. Click on that and do that quick survey, please. Any other announcement? I notice we have another partner on here, Rosemary, with the Robbinswood community. Is she still on? Ms. Rosemary, are there any announcements? No, okay. Anybody?
Patricia?
Yes, ma'am.
I'd like to also remind people, or maybe they didn't know, is that the Roslind's, the Safe Neighborhood Partnership, their guest speaker for their event is going to be the individual talking about the expansion of West Colonial. Speaking of any changes that are going to happen to the highway from Pine Hills Road as we're moving into the city, I think, I'm not quite sure. But I'd also like to hear the council contact the District 2 Commissioner or the people having to do with the extension of the Pine Hills Road through to 441, because I see some adjusting there with the business and work going on with the roadway. I am concerned that Pine Hills might get, that all of Pine Hills will be surrounded with tolls. I think that would be a very bad thing for a community of 70,000 people to, if they want to use a major roadway, they would have to take, the only way they could leave this area was by paying a toll.
Very good,
So
Bettina, thank you.
I'd like to have an update on that. And I think people should start moving to be aware that it already costs an extra $1,000 to go on the 408 to the other side of town if you have a student going to UCF. And then we have been paying these tolls since the 408 started. And we have like 3 or 4 booths in Pine Hills.
Thank you, Bettina. I see a couple of hands up. Is Rosemary and then Ms. Smith and then Dr. Nichols. Rosemary, unmute yourself, please.
Hi, everybody. This is Rosemary Deal with Robbinswood Community. I wasn't prepared to be called tonight, but we do have an event coming up. There's a resident of ours. Can you hear me?
Yes.
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 Yes. Yes.
We have a resident here in Pine Hills. She's our local pastor, and she's put together multi-posting events. She's asked me to post it on Facebook. And from what I understand, she needs vendors. She needs people to come out and get involved. I do have it on Robbinswood Community's Facebook page. If you're not a friend of ours, please friend us. If you need me to send you the information, I guess you can put it in the chat. I'm sorry, I wasn't prepared, but I know it's supposed to be not this Saturday, the following Saturday. And I apologize, I will not be in attendance because I have a very good friend of mine. She just graduated with her PhD. So I was admiring all the doctors on here tonight, and I'm like, we have another sister, no offense guys, but we have another person who is entering into that field. And I'm really proud of her.
Send me the information, Rosemary, please. Send me the flyer.
Okay.
Send me the
Wonderful.
flyer. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ms. Smith?
Hey, good evening, everyone. Please excuse my video. I have poor lighting right now. But I want to make the community aware of Opportunities Through LIUNA, which is the Laborers International Union of North America. We have employment opportunity in the construction laborers and landscaping laborers. I'll drop my information in the chat, but the wages along with benefits and pension is all included. And please feel free to contact me by phone or email. And thank you very much for allowing me the opportunity to share this.
And she recently became a member of the council. That's right. Thank you for joining the council. And do you have a flyer? How can I post that information, Ms. Smith?
Yes, I will follow up with you tomorrow and provide it for both.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for joining the council.
You're most welcome. My pleasure.
Ms. Nichols?
Thank you, Madam Rump. And I just wanted to reiterate and echo what I'm hearing tonight related to the 2050 vision plan. And it is on the agenda, but I'm going to go ahead and plug it in at this point. It is very important that we continue to share with our neighbors, with our community folks that we're working with, whether it's home, church, etc., social, to please get involved and get engaged and involved in those meetings, listen to, and also provide input. Because at the end of the day, as Patricia, Madam Rump put it, and Rose Nancy and from Siblings Office and some of the others is that we can't sleep on this. We have to be engaged and involved and present as to what's going to take place in our community, because if we don't participate and take place, planning has to continue, economics has to continue. And without that, the millennials, everyone that's listening and not listening, please share with them. As Patricia indicated, there are a couple of meetings left in June. And I looked at my notes, and there are 2 other meetings in July, but they're wrap-up sessions. Not to say that there won't be continued meetings, smaller units. However, those are wrap-up sessions. This thing has been going on. And if we continue to, the engagement, the involvement from what I'm hearing, and I've attended almost all of those meetings, at least one, every time they've had one, and they have one, and then they have a review session of that same meeting. So it's important for us to get involved and get engaged and be present and participate.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm going to Madam President, I just want to, was there anything else on the president's report that you needed to give us?
I did, and let me see if I can find this information. I want to share, and I know this has come before the Board of County Commissioners before I was president. And we was concerned, and the residents was concerned about the eviction process and just the way that household items is being placed on the curbside. And again, I was out this weekend, wasn't looking for this. I was driving down the road, and this is what I saw. This picture and the picture below is in the same neighborhood, on the same street. This is what they did with their stuff and put it on the curbside. This is what this household did. They rent a dumpster and placed it and cleaned the house out that way. And so the council has put together a letter to the Board of County Commissioners. This is in District 6. This is in District 2. This is apartment complex, and I purposely took a copy of that apartment complex monument. And so our concern of it is, with the eviction moratorium, it's going to eventually come to an end. And when it comes to an end, we do not want our neighborhood to look like this until someone come and clean it up. Again, I know this has been brought before by council, but I'm a believer, and I'm a Peggy and Athena and Rose Nancy and Destiny and Landry could attest. If your bill don't get passed the first time, you don't stop that time. You keep pushing your effort forward, and prayerfully that this bill will be looked at. This is not a bill. What the council is asking for is an ordinance amended. That is a litter ordinance that talks about litter, and that talks about when you have items in excess of what the county gonna pick up, how to dispose of this item. We're asking for an amendment to that county ordinance to say when an eviction or foreclosure take place, and we saw this back in 2008, with the subletting process, and those people bought above their means, and there was a lot of foreclosure. We saw this throughout Pine Hills. Let me make this clear. This is not Pine Hills only. This is countywide. This also happening in District 3. So what I'm getting at is that I want the community to know that we see this, we hear your concern, and as a representation or a representative or an advocate for a better standard of living for those in Pine Hills, we have taken our concern, and we will continue to take the concern like they do on the legislative level, and keep asking for a bill to go through until someone hear our case and say, okay, this is a good way of handling this. We asking for the amendment to be not to sit this out, because this is more than what the county would pick up, but to rent. It'll be the property owner responsibility to rent a dumpster and put the stuff out in a dumpster. If you know that it's going to see the what the county pickup is. I'm gonna say this quickly and then I'm gonna move on. I approached these people today to let them know that I was not pleased with what I saw. This is on the corner of Pine Hills and Clark Court Road. From the outside, this community looked very nice. And it does. But they took the eviction stuff and put it on the county right away. Now, if you don't want it on your property, I don't want to see it on the highway either. Anyway, I'm not going to go on that tangent, but thank you, Bettina. That's one of the things that the council is pushing forward of what the community has asked us to do, and we're pushing this forward. Rosemarie, I see your hand up, and Nichols, are there any more comments? I'm gonna stop sharing.
Just wanted to continue on what you're saying, a segue. We recently did a piece on the trash not being picked up, and we did what we're supposed to. We called 311. We put it in on the app 311, and we have trash on Hastings that has never been picked up. We even have like grass is overgrown for extremely long time. It's very difficult to walk on the sidewalk. I know that the commissioner's office has been involved, but unfortunately, the garbage people are not picking up even the bare minimum of, say, someone's mattress or a singular chair. So it may not be that much, but I think maybe we could add that on to what you're working on. I think it would be a great idea if it's at all possible. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Nichols?
My hand went down, I lowered it. And if Rosemarie and I can just share afterwards, those particular locations, I'll share it with the council and we can move forward with it.
Okay. It is 8:06. Let me share one more thing, because I know Bettina asked me to. I know I could not get my thing working. I had a little hiccup here. Let me share one more thing here, if I can find this, Lord. Here it is right here. Okay, let's make this small. Go back to here. I'm learning this thing here a little better. Share screen. Here it is. This is what I tried to share earlier, and this be my last update. I was trying to talk to you earlier about Powers Drive. This is Powers Drive, and I know we were talking about a development that's going on the corner of Clark Court Road and Powers Drive. And the development is going forward. Two things. They're asking for, I talked with the developer, and he said that if I could bring him someone that be able to rent the space out, he is open for tenants. He's open to hear from serious tenants. You know, so that was one plus, but he's moving forward with his building, which is fine. But our other thing that we want to discuss with them, and we presented to the Board of County, not the Board of County Commission, but Orange County government. This developer is asking for 3 permits. He's asking for a full access, come in and out on Aladdin Drive, which is fine. This is a side street. It's not a busy street. You want full ingress and egress from off the street. He's asking for a right ingress and egress only from Clark Court, which is fine. I mean, you can only turn right in here. You can only leave right, which is fine. So this is a busy intersection. We also learned that he has asked for a full ingress and egress off of Powers. That means you could be able to turn right on Powers and left on Powers. And we have a concern for community safety, for neighborhood safety. Our concern is that Powers should be only a right turn, a right exit only, and a right entrance only. Reason being, Powers Drive is on just a 2-lane. Right here on Powers Drive is a turning lane. If he's awarded full ingress on here, that means cars traveling north on Powers, in order to get over and turn into this guy's property, they stand a chance of backing up this queue lane here on Powers Drive that want to turn left on Clark Court Road. And we're concerned about there's 2 bus stops. There's a bus stop here and a bus stop here. We're concerned about the neighborhood safety. We're not trying to block him from Powers. Turn right in only and turn exit right only and enter right only, but not to exit left and to cross over traffic and to come in left and cross over traffic at a busy intersection here already. We did a survey. I solicited Metro Plan. Metro Plan gave me a survey in 2019 on this intersection alone. In 2019, there was 11 crashes. I think with like 6 injuries. In 2020, there was 10 crashes with like 4 injuries. This is a dangerous intersection to begin with. So if we, again, that's what we want, right turn only and right entrance only. So you don't have to cross over, right entrance only and right exit only. The other thing, I was able to pull up a incumbent's capacity letter on the website of Powers Drive. And that incumbent's capacity letter talk about the capacity and almost like what Powers Drive can handle. And on a scale from A to E, Powers Drive scored a D, which means that we're already just about at the capacity. With another subdivision being planned to come here, we only need a right way in and a right way out. So those are what the council is working on to help keep this area safe. It's already a hazard, help keep it safe. And so that's what we're working on. We're here, want to keep Pine Hills in a safe environment. And so Bettina, those are 2 things you was asking me about. And those are 2 things that the council is working on. We want to know that we're here for you. I live in Pine Hills. So I'm very concerned about what goes on in Pine Hills. You and most of y'all live in Pine Hills and very concerned. So I'm gonna get off my soapbox and if you got any questions, we just gonna be done. But thank you for Bettina for giving me the opportunity to come back because I was off my keel with this thing earlier. So any comments, observation, anybody, are we good to go? Did that answer your question, Bettina?
Yep.
Yes, okay. Thank you, good people. Thank you for hanging here. Go to our website, sign up for a committee. We need you. There's work to be done in Pine Hills, the area. You don't have to live in Pine Hills to do the work in Pine Hills, but there's work to be done. You see, we're out here working. Go to our website, pinehills.info, check us out. There's several committees there. Sign up for a committee. I appreciate you being a member, but I would really appreciate you sign on one of those committees. Thank you, good people. And we'll see y'all next month in July. Thank you for your patience. God bless you. Bye-bye.
Night.
Good night.
Good night.